People are already lining up outside the Supreme Court building in Washington trying to get front row seats to legal history. The court takes up same-sex marriage in less than 2 days. Justices will hear arguments for the first case Tuesday involving California's Proposition 8 ban on same-sex marriage. The second case centers on the Defense of Marriage Act, which defines marriage as between a man and a woman. As the Supreme Court prepares to tackle that issue, same-sex couples across the country are watching. CNN's Joe Johns has a story of one couple in the D.C. area who are hoping history will be made.
The battle over same-sex marriage in California has been going on for years, and coming up this week, it finally arrives at the U.S. Supreme Court. We talked to one of the couples involved in the case who, win or lose, have already assured themselves a small place in history with their legal challenge.
Oh, you do? We always go down.
Jamelle Thomas and Karane Williams had been together 4 years before they got married last October. Don't let the wedding dresses fool you. Their lives are not all satin and pearls.
Well, I'm a airman in the United States Air Force Reserves, and
I'm a police officer with the Metropolitan Police Department here in D.C.
Which makes this couple a case study in how America's married but unequal approach to same-sex relationships can play out.
As, you know, an airman, you get a constant reminder that, you know, you're second class.
Jamelle is a federal employee, but the Federal Defense of Marriage Act bars recognition of same-sex marriage by the government, which affects more than 1,000 federal benefits for spouses, everything from filing taxes and receiving death benefits to who gets called as next of kin.
I had to list Karane as my sister just so that someone would call her in the event that, you know, I'm killed or missing in action, or I'm hurt on the job. She can't be my emergency contact. She can't receive my remains.
Karane, on the other hand, as a District of Columbia employee, gets the benefits of being married because the local government in the nation's capital recognizes same-sex marriage. But only 9 states in the District of Columbia have taken that step. So Karane loses status as a spouse just by crossing the Potomac River into Virginia.
Why do we have to be married locally but federally? It's nothing. We're friends. We were a ring symbolically, you know, so it's ridiculous.
What the bill does.
And now the Defense of Marriage Act, also known as DOMA, first passed by Congress and signed by President Clinton in 1996, is being challenged at the Supreme Court.
It's being asked to decide there is whether or not Congress can pass a law that treats same-sex couples who are already married under the laws of their state different from opposite-sex couples.
Defenders of the law say Congress has as much right as the states to make its own definition of marriage.
DOMA is important because Congress said it was important. I mean, we sent our elected representatives to Washington, D.C., and they chose to say that marriage is one man and one woman for purposes of federal law.
And conservatives say the Founding Fathers never contemplated gay marriage.
Because it's clearly not what anyone understood as marriage at the time of the framing of the Constitution.
Still, same-sex families pay taxes and don't get the same benefits. And the issue with DOMA really gets complicated if they have children who are also excluded from benefits.
When we have kids, I would like them to be born in a post-DOMA United States.
Still, California is one of only a handful of states that gives most of the benefits of marriage to same-sex couples in domestic partnerships. One question is whether any ruling by the court on California could affect all of those other states in the same way.